The title of this podcast is Ask People to Draw a Picture of How You Show Up to Them. This was inspired by a book that was recommended to me by a physician who specializes in infectious diseases. He dedicated his whole career to helping other people, particularly those who are not always seen. Uh, when I mean seen, both literally and figuratively, in the world, they are people that are oftentimes marginalized, and he's dedicated his life to helping people who are in those communities. The name of the book is Compassionomics. And in the book, there's a section in which uh, they tell a story of a little girl drawing a picture of her doctor. And her picture shows a doctor typing on the computer with his back to her and her family. When the doctor saw the picture, he was disappointed in himself. In himself. This was how, this was her view of how he showed up for her and his family. And this was certainly not the way that he wanted to be depicted or shown to be behaving. Now, there are a lot of reasons why you might point to a doctor being depicted this way or showing up this way. One of the reasons might be they're so busy and there's not enough time for them to be able to do this without something giving, without them seeing other patients or taking away from their own well-being because they have to stay late hours to complete this task. Whatever the reason might be, and it could be a legitimate reason, this is still the way that he was seen by this little girl and how he showed up for her and her family through her eyes. And it's also true that this is not the way that he wanted to show up. So whatever the reasons were, they were in conflict with how both parties wanted to have that visit take place, unfold. And so when I think about my own life, what I'm thinking about is what picture would be drawn of me at any given moment. Now, I'm far from perfect, and I'm clear about what the picture would have looked like for Keith 1.0 more times than not. But hopefully, the way I'm showing up for people is kind, supportive, attentive, and present. That's how I want to show up. But I think what I'm going to start asking people to do in my life is to not only tell me, but ask them like, describe for me how am I showing up for you? Or if something doesn't go well or we have some kind of disagreement, I really want to find not so much the courage, but I want to make it a point to ask them, how am I showing up for you in this moment? And when they describe it to me, not to fall prey to the tendency to kind of defend it or justify how I'm showing up for them, and to just say thank you. So, with your loved one, pick someone who you're very close to. And if you gave them permission and they took you up on it to draw a picture of how you are showing up for them, would they say that you're supportive unconditionally, that you're kind, that you're thoughtful, that you're considerate, that there is a safe place for them to be fully themselves in the relationship? Is that what they would say? And that is with a significant other or with a friend or a work colleague, as well as your children. What would they say? And I'll stretch it a step further. What would people that don't even know you, strangers, say after one interaction with you? Would they say positive things or describe you the way that you want to be thought of? So just think about that. And again, I think this is an opportunity to pause and reflect. And if you're not showing up a way that you would like to show up, you can change that.